Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Liz at Rose & Jones. I hope everyone is doing very well, and anybody in the UK right now, I hope you're surviving this heat wave. I hope you're all staying cool, keeping fresh and smelling great. Today I've got a selection of Maison Francis Kurkdjian samples to share with you. There's a nice handful of fragrances from this house. Most will be a first impression, and there's a couple that I have smelt before. So it's not going to be an in-depth review of any of them, and I haven't seen any notes in any of these, so I can't really give my opinions on that, or if I can detect them in the fragrance. I'm not going to list them on the screen because I think sometimes notes can influence, you know, how you find a scent and a fragrance, and it's not always a great thing to know every note. So we're just going to roll with it, and I'll just share with you my thoughts and feelings on each one. I purchased my samples direct from the MFK website, and I actually purchased 4 of them, and I've got 2 freebies, which was rather nice. So there's 2 extras here that I can share with you as well, plus one that I have actually had in my collection for a couple of months. So I think we'll just jump straight in. The first fragrance I'm going to show you this is actually one they sent me as a freebie. I was not familiar with it. This is Le Beau. When I first sprayed this, it opens up as a really delicate, really feminine, a white floral scent. It did really remind me of Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. There's a hint of coconut. I don't know if there's coconut in this. I'm sensing there isn't. I'm thinking I'm getting this hint because of other things that are going on, because it's not a straight up coconut. It's just this mild memory of a coconut, if you like. But it does remind me of Soleil Blanc because it's kind of this mishmash of mild watery coconut with white flowers, white florals. Although I think it's slightly less metallic than Soleil Blanc. This one is much more floral, feminine leaning, where definitely a day wear, you know. I think it's a very spring, summer kind of a very mild, delicate day wear. Bouquet of, you know, soft white flowers. Whatever this coconutty vibe I'm getting, I don't know where that's coming from, but it just kind of seems to be lingering in there, which does make it quite appealing actually. It's very pretty. It's quite shy. It's not a very bold scent, I would say. I do like it. I don't think it's for me. There's nothing particularly unique and special about it. For the price, I would say you could find this sort of a scent somewhere else. It's, you know, it's pretty. It's not offensive in any way. The white flowers aren't too strong. Everything in it is very soft and very, very safe and very delicate and very pretty. Mass appealing. Spring, summer, definitely day wear. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this one. So that's Le Beau Parfum. So let's talk about Grand Soir next. This one I was most excited for. This is actually one that I did choose when I was choosing my samples. So Grand Soir, this is an amber based scent. I like that most of these came with these cards. This one came in a little packet, but this one actually does come with its own card, and it has a sort of dedication to the scent, which is really nice. So you can always screenshot that and read that. Okay, so let's talk about this one. This is a beautiful, bold, and very bright and very sweet puff of amber. That's what I get from the first, you know, from the first spray, from the opening. Very bold, very strong. And now amber bomb for sure, this one. I don't know if there's orange in this, but I'm definitely getting like a boozy, contro, orangey thing going on. It makes it really, really kind of very appealing, very confident. Definitely a bold scent, this one. Amber's a note that I'm actually just starting to play around with and get to know in perfumes. I'm starting to appreciate it more. The more I detect it in various scents and the way it's used, I'm starting to appreciate that note. It can sometimes lean too strong, and it can be quite headache inducing. I've heard this one mentioned about how beautiful the amber is, and I just figured this is the one I want to try out and you know, to see what it's like and go from there. It, to me, when I obviously say the opening is this lovely bright bold amber bomb, very, very sweet. As it develops, I kind of get this salted caramel vibe. It's like it's obviously the sweetness, like a burnt sugar kind of salted caramelly. Yeah, just really delicious, and I think this would be a lovely one to wear for the autumn. I mean, I don't think it would really work well in the high heat, but it's extremely beautiful. It would really come alive in a cooler, you know, cooler temperatures. Evening wear, lovely. But for autumn winter, this would be just absolutely stunning. I think it'd be really sexy actually on anyone, but I think it'd be sexy on my husband. If I smelt this on him, I think it would, yeah, I would love this actually, this one on him. I think I have to spray this on him and see what he thinks of that. I do love how complex this one is. As I say, aside from this lovely sweet amber and boozy kind of heart I'm getting, as it dries down and starts to develop more, there's this very unusual, almost marine aquatic shower jelly vibe. It's it's really weird. I don't know how you can possibly pair them together, but if someone just got out of the shower and had the most rich, classy shower gel on, let's say, you know, a really nice one, and then they sprayed themselves with the most beautiful amber perfume, scent, cologne, whatever, this is the vibe. It's just very strange, but it does actually work, and then because of that, you kind of get an almost slightly fresh edge coming from Grand Soir. So it's not just a straight up amber, there's other things going on in here, and it just makes it the most beautiful blended complex amber fragrance. Do I like it? Absolutely. Would I wear it? Absolutely. I really do like this one. Okay, so let's talk about Apom next. That's my next one. So Apom, again, it has this inscription for the scent. So it does give you an idea really of kind of what notes are in there. This one, the opening of this one was bright, floral. It has a sort of woody, a powdery, woody kind of thing going on. Slightly citrusy maybe even, like there's a slight dry, powdery citrus thing happening. There's not much I can say on this one because it just, it didn't last long on me. I had to really try and wash it off. I mean, look, if you've got this perfume and you love it, that's fantastic. Obviously, we're all different and things sit differently on us. This one really did smell to me exactly the same as my toilet flush. Yeah, it just smelled exactly the same as these toilet flush things that you get that you hook on the side of your loo and then you flush it, and whatever they use in these products, I don't know, just reminiscent of Apom. So yeah, that one, I'm afraid I can't say much more than that because I didn't want to kind of smell it much more than that on me. It was giving me a bit of a headache. So unfortunately, that's all I can say on that one. Woody, floral, white floral, powdery, that's as far as I got, and then I say that nasty vibe kind of kicked in and I kind of gave up on it. So we'll just move on actually. So next up we have Aqua Universalis. Let me just make sure I'm saying this correctly. Universalis. This is an eau de toilette. So this is one that I chose. I didn't go for the eau de parfum just in case it was a scent obviously that could have been too pungent for me or too strong. I thought I'd play it safe. Which now that I've smelt this one, I kind of wish I went for the eau de parfum because I really like this one. This one, let's look at the inscription. Okay, so we talk about citruses and musks and florals. And the eau de parfum is called a fort. That's how they describe the eau de parfum on that line. The moment I sprayed this, I instantly thought of lemonade. It was so reminiscent of lemonade. If you literally put your nose in a lemonade bottle and you get that very slight lemon, effervescent, fizziness. That's exactly what I was getting from this. Lemons aren't really my favourite note in a fragrance. Generally, it's usually if it's too lemony, it's just, to me, that's not what I want to smell of. This is the only fragrance I think I've smelled so far. If it contains lemons, I don't know. This one I instantly loved, if I'm honest. I almost wanted to imagine bubbles hitting my nose when I was smelling it because it was that fizzy and that effervescent. There's a very slight green touch to it, almost as though you've got like a lemon leaf in there as well. Very bright, very fresh. very inoffensive. Obviously it's an eau de toilette, so it is very, very light anyway. In fact, it almost disappeared within a few minutes on my hand. Before it actually disappeared, I would say it was drying into a more floral version. It still got that lemonade vibe, but it was slightly more floral, sort of a hint of musk in there as well. It almost slightly warmed up, I would say, as it dried down, but it did disappear relatively quickly. Very easy wearing, definitely unisex. Anyone could wear this. Definitely day wear. I don't think you would really smell it much in the evening, but obviously I guess I'm gonna have to try the Eau de Parfum, because I think it's worth, I did like it enough that I would actually like to try it in the Eau de Parfum. The next fragrance really doesn't need much introduction. I don't think I've heard a fragrance mentioned as much as Baccarat Rouge 540 this year. It's done so well. It's really, really popular. I can see, you know, I get it. I do love it myself. Baccarat Rouge 540. There's the inscription. It's jasmine, there's florals, saffron, there's some strong notes in there. It says ambergris, but if it said amber, I would understand. Ambergris, I love ambergris, but I kind of get more of a straight up sort of resinous amber. Highly sweet, highly sweet. Once I'd sprayed these first four and I got to this one, obviously I'm comparing them. I had them all on my arms. I was covered in different scents, and as soon as I got to this one, the sugariness just hit me. It was, you could, you know, obviously comparing them together, it was the sugar content in this one. It almost made my teeth hurt. So yeah, in the opening, first impression, tooth-achingly sweet. It's got the same impact and projection as Grand Soir, obviously not the same scent, but it has got the same sort of sillage. Baccarat Rouge is literally like burnt sugar or caramelized sugar on a creme brulee with more sweets baked in it. Like if you had candied sweets baked in a creme brulee and then you burn a lot of sugar on top of that. Yeah, it's that sweet. It's really that sweet. It's really bright. It's really bold. It's incredibly sexy. You will get noticed wearing this. Gorgeous for the autumn and winter because it's so warming, so cozy, so decadent. I would personally wear it in autumn, winter. So next up is Oud Silk Mood, Eau de Parfum. So this is an oud, rose, and obviously other bits going on as well. This is an unusual scent. This is one that I really can't decide what on earth is going on. So just going from the opening, in the first kind of 3 seconds, I get the most smooth, delicious, beautiful Turkish Delight rose. It is so gorgeous. Silk is silky, beautiful rose, which I guess that's the name, what the name implies. But so quickly after that, I get this really unusual, I guess it's the oud. It's giving me car fumes. It's so frustrating because I loved that first hit of silky smooth rose, but it gets completely squashed by this car fumy oud, dusty, funny note really. A musky green, funny note, very, very green, but not in a refreshing way. It's an old water kind of a way, you know. It's quite confusing because it's almost like you've got these two vibes coming in and they're completely competing with each other, but they're not really ever blending properly. I don't like this one, I have to be honest. It didn't work for me. My mind couldn't figure out what was happening. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be smelling this rose or if I'm supposed to be getting like more of a green vibe from this. It started off as a silk mood and it ended up as not a good silk mood. It ended up as a green confused mood. So I think this is a popular perfume. I don't think, you know, I think probably this is just me. Anyway, Oud Silk Mood. So last up we have Oud Satin Mood. So these two are, well, Oud Silk Mood, Oud Satin Mood are so different. They are so different. They both have, the only connection I would say is they both have this Turkish Delight edible rose, really smooth, really beautiful. Unlike Silk Mood, which takes it in a really sharp green, almost headachy direction, this one is incredibly strong, but it is incredibly soft at the same time. So I do know the notes on this one. I've had this sample. This is the first Francis Kurkdjian fragrance that I actually ever smell, and I heard other people talking about this one, and I thought it sounded just absolutely amazing. I had my niece was with me one evening, and I got her to sample a lot of my perfumes, and she's not smelled that many fragrances before, and I got her to describe lots of my different fragrances in 3 words. And for this one, in her 3 words, she said it smelled of money, velvet and robes, which I love that. And it kind of, I would have said Play-Doh, violets and expensive medicine. So again, this is the complexity of this. There's so much going on here, and I think it's trying to pull you in different directions. What I've ended up with after a long time of smelling it, I never disliked it. I just wasn't sure how it was, you know, where it was taking me. But it kept making me sample it, and it was so intriguing. And I've decided that it's just, yeah, a beautiful, complex fragrance, one that I would wear on very specific occasions. It's become my my most sort of decadent, unique sort of masterpiece in my whole collection. This is something I would really reach for in the most unique situations. If you were going to, I don't know if I'm ever going to go to a gothic ball, but if I was invited to something that was a bit gothic, a bit decadent, rich, something really posh, but maybe in the winter, or something that had like there was a themed party where you have, I don't know, just something really unusual and different, and you want to stand out, you want to be noticed. This is the kind of scent you would do that with, and it kind of makes you feel really classy, quite confident, sensual. It's incredibly noticeable. It's just the most posh, expensive rose, and it's cushioned out with, I guess, this violet note that I'm getting. There's oud that is actually a very soft oud. It's so different from Oud Silk Mood. That was pulling me in this green, sharp, headachy direction. This one is soft and puffy and cushiony, but it's really loud as well. Super happy to have this in my collection. So that is Oud Satin Mood. So this is my introduction to the Maison Francis Kurkdjian house, and a few first impressions and a few second impressions as well. Yeah, I'd love to know everybody else's favourite from this house. So that's it, I'll leave you there. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Bye.